and welcome to the Disgruntled Traveler Podcast. Now that I have your attention, today we have a story about a bus ride that I took, a 3-hour bus ride that I took all the way from Lake Ohrid to Skopje, Macedonia. This is in North Macedonia, okay? If you're not familiar with that area, it's the Balkans in Eastern Europe. Okay. Not the best transportation in the world, but it is what it is. So here we go. Anyway, alrighty. I purchased a ticket online. Okay. That's easy. That's modern. We can handle that. I got the bus, which is actually sort of like a van. It's not really a bus. It's a van, okay? But it holds, I'd say it has like 7 rows of seats. There's like, you can sit 2 by 2 in the row on the left, or you can sit single on the row on the right. And then there's one big like bench seat that's actually in the very back. And it holds like 3 people, okay? Then they put the luggage in behind there. It is air conditioned and heated, but you cannot open the windows. Keep this in mind. And it runs on diesel. And this is one of those manual, stick vans where they have to keep shifting gears. Okay, so we're doing that, right? So anywho, the ride going from the city to the lake actually wasn't too bad. I didn't feel like I was getting sick or anything like that. And the guy was pretty cool about like halfway through, like an hour and a half, we were up in the national forest. And, it's a lot of this going on and up and down. It's all mountains out there. Like it's mountains. Once you leave the city, you're in the mountains. Okay. So I had a piss like a Russian racehorse. Luckily, I didn't know, but the dude pulled over at a little like restaurant type thing. So you can go in there and pee real quick. He gave you a 10-minute break. You can pee, you can grab a bite to eat, a drink, whatever. And then you got to hurry up and get on the bus and keep going. Right. So that's cool. That was fine. However, this bus driver was also doubling as a UPS delivery guy. Okay. So every, I'd say 15 minutes to a half hour, he would stop along the way off the road and pick up packages. And he'd pick up a package from one dude, and then he'd drive a half hour down the road and deliver it to another dude standing on the side of the road. So evidently they don't actually have UPS. These tour bus drivers double as their UPS, right? So that's cool and all. I'm not in a big hurry to get to where I'm going, but when it says online that it only takes 3 hours and you're expecting 3 hours, it actually took us an extra half hour to get to that location because he kept doing all these multiple little stops along the way. So that was sort of a drag. And my seat, these seats aren't very comfortable, especially in Macedonia. Like, they're okay. But every time he was going over bumps and everything, your ass was literally just sliding. Like you were just like sliding like this. And then you have to like prop yourself back up, right? So this was going on for 3.5 hours. I made it though. I made it. That was the cool part. Okay, so I had a good time in Lake Ohrid, and if you haven't been there, it's a beautiful, beautiful lake. It's one of the oldest and deepest European lakes, so awesome place to visit. Definitely worth the trip. But, okay, so I had to take the same bus back to the city, right? So I get on this bus. This one, different driver, left in the morning. This guy was the total opposite. He did not double as a UPS delivery driver, evidently because we were leaving on a Sunday. I don't know. Maybe that was it. It must have been because it was Sunday. So he drove straight through, which is all cool, right? But He did not stop for a bathroom break either. Oh my God. And then on top of that, I got sick. I didn't get sick on the first one, and I think it was because we actually had a stop in the middle and I could pee. I was, oh my God, I'd say 2 hours in, and I pissed before I got on the van, okay? Because I got to empty my bladder. I'm good to go. So I get on this van. I'm 2 hours in. I tried to refrain from drinking too much water because I was like, okay, I can hold out an hour and a half, right? He didn't stop. So 2 hours in, up through these mountains, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to pee. Is this guy going to stop? He passes the restaurant, which was the halfway point where the other guy stopped, and he just kept going. And I was like, oh no, he's not going to stop. So I have another hour to go. Luckily, he didn't make any other stops or it would have been even longer, right? So I'm like, okay, I just have to hold it. That's all there is to it, right? So anyway, I'm in the very back of the van, okay? I decided to sit in the back because this van evidently didn't have the leg room that the first one did. I'm 5'9", so I need some like leg room, especially being sitting down for 3 hours on a bumpy road. So I need leg room. So I tested the seats out before I got on the bus, or before we actually left. I got on the bus. I was testing the seats. I said, man, these things are small. Like literally the space this much for your legs. I was like, this is crazy. So I went all the way to the back of the bus where the bench seat is, because, you had the row in the middle and I could just stretch my legs out. And I said, oh, this is perfect, right? So I thought. So we get going. Okay. The road's bumpy, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, we're 2 hours in. Anyway, all I'm smelling is diesel fuel coming from the back of the van. Comes to me first, right? Even though he's got the air conditioner on, I'm smelling really heavy hits of diesel. I was like, this is not good. I can't crack the window. Okay. I'm starting to feel lightheaded. And on top of that, I had a piss real bad. And then on top of that, I'm getting hungry. And on top of that, I feel like I'm going to throw up. It's like all this is going on at the same time while he's driving. And I'm just talking myself into just like, hang on, do not throw up, do not throw up, do not throw up. And I thought, well, maybe if instead of sitting forward, let me sit sideways, have my feet going this way, and I'll look out the window on the left, Bad idea. That made me feel even more car sick. And I was like, oh, hell no, like head's starting to spin. So I turned back around to face forward and I'm leaning up in my seat. And I'm just staring at the window and I feel like I'm hyperventilating. So I start doing this, right? I'm like, oh God, and this diesel smell, like I had to get the diesel smell away from my nose. And I'm just doing this, trying it seemed like every time he shifted gears, the diesel smell was worse. But when he was cruising, it wasn't so bad. So when he was doing all the shifting, I'm going like this, right? And I'm like, okay, I just need air. Calm down. And I kept like psyching myself out. I said, please, I cannot throw up. This is going to be super embarrassing if I throw up on this bus. Right? You got another hour, girl. You can make it. So I'm hanging on to the seat. I'm staring out the window. I'm doing this off and on for the last hour. And we finally get into the city, right? Finally get in. And that's just that. All right. So we get into the bus station, right? He pulls in and me and this other girl were the only two left on the bus because he had other stops and other people got off the bus ahead of time. We were the last two to get into the city and get off the bus. So she's off, I get off, I hit my head. I mean, all I'm thinking about is toilet, right? And it's a low kind of exit and I like bonk, hit my head. And the driver's like, oh, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. So I get off the bus, I get my backpack, right? And immediately I got this taxi dude who comes right up to my face. I'm like this, like literally right here. He goes, taxi? And I'm like, no, toilet. So I start booking it into the bus station, right? With my backpack. He's chasing me. And then he just starts pointing to the left, like the bathroom's over here. So I'm like, okay, thanks, great. So I run over there, and lo and behold, the girl that was ahead of me was in front of me. So she beat me to the bathroom. She probably had to go really bad too. So you can't just go in there, you have to pay. It's like $2 American in their money. They call it dinars or dinares. It's like 20 dinars, which is equal to about $2. Luckily, I had exact change because the girl in front of me gave her a larger bill, and she says, "Can you break this?" And the lady in broken English says, "No, you got to go to the change station and get change." So she had to book it to the change station. I was thinking, oh my God, I hope I have exact change because I'm going to wet myself if I had to do that, right? So anyway, I had exact change in my wallet. And I said, "Oh, you got to pay to pee." Okay. So I take out the money, I give it to the girl, and I'm just hauling ass into the bathroom. I swear it was the dirtiest bathroom, but my ass sat on that toilet, and I think I just pissed for 5 minutes straight, right? So then when I get done, and there's no toilet paper. And I'm like, why the hell am I paying you money when there is no toilet paper in this bathroom? Okay. Luckily, this chick carries extra napkins and toilet paper in her sling bag. Okay. Because this shit's happened to me before on the road. So I had my own toilet paper. I wiped myself up. I'm feeling better. I'm like, okay, all I got to do is catch a ride back to my apartment, which is 10 minutes away. I'll get my own ride through the rideshare app. Okay. They have a rideshare app out here called B-Ride. So you are not reliant on these dudes that run up into your face and ask you if you need a taxi. In fact, I recommend that you don't get with those guys, because the ones that approach you like that are the ones that are ready to scam the fuck out of you. Okay. They're going to charge you 3 times the amount of what the ride would be on the rideshare app. I've already been through this, so I know. So I'm exiting the women's bathroom, and who's standing there? The same fucking taxi driver that hit me up for a taxi when I got off the bus. He was waiting on me. Like, really? So he's waiting on me, and he's right in my face again. He's like, "Taxi, taxi." And I start walking past him, and he's chasing me out the front door of the bus station yelling, "Do you want a taxi? Do you want a taxi?" Oh my God. I didn't even look at him. I put my hand up and I said, "No, no taxi." And he's like, I can hear him, "No taxi?" As I'm walking away. I'm like, "No taxi." Okay. So then he leaves me alone. And here's my advice. If you ever go to the Skopje, North Macedonia bus station, walk out the front door where the parking lot is and turn to the left. When you walk out away from the entrance, there's a bunch of like benches to sit out by the parking lot, and there's no taxi drivers all hanging out there. There ain't nobody out there. So nobody's going to mess with you if you sit out there. So that's what I did. I went out there to sit, and I had my B-Ride app all ready to go, and I ordered me a taxi. The dude was in there. He picked me up within 5 minutes, and I paid $2. Now, if I would have went with the guy who was in my face, he probably would have charged me $10. I can almost guarantee it. Pretty damn much. So anyway, that's the bus ride story. And remember, I am the disgruntled traveler.